Hard to believe, but true. An Atlanta area man, Steve, is behind bars today, charged with 2 counts of murder after he confessed to killing 2 of his employees, all because they kept asking him for a raise.
The car dealership owner was apparently having financial troubles, and the cops think he just snapped. But why do bosses snap, and how can we recognize crazy bosses and avoid them? Let's turn to Webb Egerton, a life coach and therapist. Good morning to you.
Thank you.
You look at that mugshot of him. Looks completely normal.
He does. He absolutely does. But let me start out by telling you that 90% of people in this country report that they have been abused or had an abusive boss, and that statistic is rising today.
Yeah, but surely not abuse of this magnitude. I mean,
No,
honestly,
not
I've
to
never
this
heard of a
magnitude.
case of a boss shooting an employee because the employee asked for a raise.
No, well, that's where a boss goes over the line and becomes psychotic.
All right, we've got some, we understand these are some of your tips, signs of a bad boss. For instance, he doesn't trust you, he doesn't respect you,
Yes.
doesn't give or take feedback, rude and intimidating. There are a lot of bosses who are like that, and that's what makes them the boss. You know, somebody's got to say no.
That's exactly right. And how you want to maneuver your way through a tricky boss is you want to be proactive with this boss. You want to find out what they want, how they want it. You want to set up great guidelines. You want to talk to them about timelines. Some bosses are ogres and say they want, you know, a 30-page spread in 10 minutes. It's not going to happen. You want to be proactive with your boss.
All right, so you have a boss who's a critic, who's an intimidator, who's a bully. Do you want to be his friend?
You don't necessarily have to be his friend, but you want to set up a great working relationship with your boss. Don't be afraid of your boss. You want to be confident with yourself when you're approaching these people.
And in fact, some of the ways to maneuver around a bad boss, as you just mentioned, don't be afraid. Develop a relationship. That makes sense. Okay, he may be crazy, but not stupid, and communicate. Let's go back to number 3. Maybe crazy, but not stupid.
Well, there are a lot of really brilliant bosses in the workplace, a lot of really brilliant people. I know I've certainly worked with some, and they don't know how to communicate, and they say things that are horrible. In fact, I'm working with someone now who says, oh my gosh, the things that come out of my mouth are horrible. I'm embarrassed. And she says, don't be so stupid, to people that she works with.
Look at that face. Does he look like a tough boss?
No, he looks like a nice guy.
Who would I be the boss of?
Webb Egerton, life coach and therapist, thanks very much.
Thank you so much for having me.